Welcome back to Explain the Charts, everyone. Today, August 14th, 2025, we're tackling one of the most talked about stocks, Tesla, ticker Tesla. Recent news around Tesla has been a mixed bag, to say the least. On one hand, we have exciting headlines about Tesla ramping up its Robotaxi plans, a development that could revolutionize transportation and certainly fuels bullish sentiment for the long term. However, this optimism is tempered by a wave of analyst downgrades, with some suggesting TSLA stock should be significantly cheaper. In fact, MarketBeat reports a consensus hold rating from 42 Wall Street analysts, with an average 12-month price target of around $303, indicating a potential downside of over 9% from recent levels. Adding to the immediate uncertainty, various financial outlets, including CNBC, report Tesla trading lower by almost 2% today, August 14th, from yesterday's close, despite earlier news of a pennant snapping to the upside. Now, let's turn our attention to the daily chart to put these headlines into a broader perspective. Looking at the period from April 2024 through mid-August 2025, we can see Tesla experienced a significant dip in April 2024, hitting lows around $140. However, a strong recovery followed, with the stock climbing steadily and even more aggressively into late 2024, approaching highs near $488. This long-term view supports Barron's report that Tesla is up approximately 63% over the past 12 months, despite being down about 16% year-to-date. A major support level has formed around the $220 mark, particularly visible in early 2025, after which the stock began another upward trajectory. The area around $350 to $360 has acted as significant resistance at multiple points during this uptrend, particularly in late May and early June 2025, and again in mid-August 2025. The overall trend, despite recent volatility, has been characterized by higher lows and higher highs, suggesting underlying long-term bullish pressure, likely driven by future growth narratives like the Robotaxi project. Zooming in on the daily chart from early May 2025, we can see the nuances of the Q2 2025 earnings impact and subsequent price action. Tesla reported Q2 revenue up by nearly 11% year-over-year and over 16% quarter-over-quarter, which might have initially fueled the rally seen leading into early July. However, a significant 45% decrease in net income year-over-year, despite a substantial quarter-over-quarter increase, likely contributed to the sharp pullback we observed in mid-July. The stock found strong support around the $290 level in early July and mid-July, bouncing convincingly from these points. This level, coinciding with the lower band of a potential ascending channel or a bullish pennant formation, aligns with the MarketBeat news of a pennant snapping to the upside in recent days, meaning a breakout. The closing price of $339.38 on August 13th, the last available daily data point, showed the stock testing resistance near the $340 level, potentially confirming this bullish breakout from the formation. Now, let's switch to the 1-hour chart to examine the recent price action in more detail, specifically focusing on the period from late July to early August 2025. After hitting a low of $300.41 on July 24th, we can observe a strong rebound that took Tesla up to the $325 range by July 28th. This period shows clear attempts to establish a higher base after the mid-July dip. We can identify immediate support at roughly $318 and minor resistance around $328 to $330 during this consolidation. Volume was notably higher during the upward moves, suggesting buying interest, while the correctional phases saw relatively lower volume, which is often a healthy sign in an uptrend. The 1-hour chart clearly illustrates the choppy, yet upward-biased movement that has characterized Tesla in the past few weeks, leading up to the end of our hourly data on August 1st. To truly understand the immediate movements, let's zoom in even further to the 15-minute chart, covering the latest available data from August 11th to August 13th, 2025. This timeframe reveals how the stock managed to push from the $338 range on August 11th to close near $339.38 on August 13th. We can see a distinct intraday rally on August 11th, breaking through $340 before a slight pullback and consolidation. The $338 level appears to be a strong intraday support, as the price repeatedly found buyers there on August 11th and 12th. Resistance on this shorter time frame emerged around the $343 to $345 range, acting as a ceiling for several hours. The consistent higher lows on this 15-minute chart, despite small pullbacks, underscore the underlying bullish momentum cited in the pennant snap news just before today's reported dip. The substantial volume during upward bursts and relatively lower volume during minor corrections indicates strong short-term demand at these elevated levels. In recap, Tesla's price action is a battle between long-term innovation potential and short-term analyst caution. Key support levels to watch are $330, followed by the significant $290 level seen in July, and then the foundational $220 mark. On the upside, immediate resistance is around $345, with a more substantial hurdle at $350 to $360, which, if broken, could signal a renewed push towards its 52-week highs. For short-term bullish momentum to continue, Tesla needs to reclaim and hold above $340, ideally on strong volume, perhaps targeting the $350 resistance. The likelihood of this happening is moderate to high, contingent on further positive news regarding Robotaxi development and broader market sentiment remaining stable. However, if the stock fails to hold $330, we could see a retest of the $290 support, reinforced by analyst downgrades and broader market risk aversion. This bearish scenario has a moderate likelihood if current market weakness persists or if Robotaxi news disappoints. Long-term, the vision for Robotaxi remains a powerful bullish driver, but near-term volatility will persist, making strict risk management crucial. Traders should closely monitor further announcements on Tesla's autonomous driving progress and upcoming Q3 earnings, which are major catalysts. Also, watch for any shifts in analyst sentiment or broader economic indicators that might influence investor confidence in growth stocks like Tesla. Thanks for tuning into Explain the Charts, where we aim to demystify market movements.